Let's talk today about the e-clean on your LeveLuk car, your JR2 or your SD501 unit. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to come to the side of the cover, take that cover off, and then the next thing is to get the clip and just push it over to the left and take that off. Now when you take the filter out, you just got to get your hands either side, just wiggle it a bit and come out. The first thing to be aware of are the two black rubbers. Sometimes a rubber stays in the Enagic unit. Just make sure that they both come out, because what you're going to do next is put in the cleaning cartridge. So you may need to make sure that both rubbers are on the cleaning cartridge. Open it up and get one of the citric acid salt solutions. I always bang them on the side just to loosen up the salt and drop it all to the bottom. You're going to peel that open and you're going to pour it all into one of them. Then what you're going to do is put the lid on top of the cartridge. Now the CPU-N will sit facing forward. It will sit facing you forward. You're going to get this, you're going to put the locking pin over and you're going to turn it to the left again until it sits completely flat, and then you're going to turn it to the right. Make sure that's completely locked in. Very, very important. Now then, imagine that the citric acid solution is in there. What we're now going to do is we're going to turn the power off. Okay, you can unplug it if you wish to. Turn the power off. We're going to get this pipe and we're going to put it in this glass, and we're going to get the actual water pipe and we're going to feed that into the glass as well. So we're going to make sure that that is in there. Then what we're going to do is turn the water on. Now remember, what's going to happen is the water is going to come through here. Usually it would have been filtered, but it's going to come through, it's going to collect the citric acid. It's then going to go into the unit, and what it's going to do is water is going to come out this bottom hose from the base. It's going to fill up and then the water is going to come out the top hose. And what you're going to start to notice is this is going to fill. What we're wanting to do is for this water to go over both pipes and seal the liquid all throughout the unit. Very, very easy process. We'll go through, but you don't want to just turn the water on full bore and allow it to flow through. You want to go slowly and let all the air bubbles, because remember, as that's filling up, as this is filling up, there's air that's being pushed out. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn the water on. And as you can see, I'm going slow, and we're just going to let it, once that water starts to come out there, we're going to go really slow. And you may start to notice the bubbles that start to come out. See, we've got some bubbles there. And you're basically going to stop it. So what now is happening is this is full of water. Because I went so slow, it pushed the air out. Well, this is full of water now, all through here, all in here, in that pipe, and you're basically going to leave it to sit for approximately 3 hours. Now when I do my clean, I leave it to sit overnight. My attitude is just leave it to sit. It's soaking. The easiest way to explain why we do the e-clean is that when the actual calcium touches the plates and the water gets charged, the calcium bonds to the plate. So we want to break that calcium off. Same as if you burn a pan with food, just leave it to soak, it's breaking the food off. So let's imagine this has been sat there now for 3 hours. What we're going to do is we're going to come here, and the first thing we're going to do is take the glass out, empty that. Now then, with that, put it to one side. You want to make sure you clean it. You want to make sure the water's empty, because people in the past have come along and gone, ooh, glass of water, and drank it. So make sure it's out the way. This pipe is going to start leaking water out, because remember, the unit's completely full. So it's now draining out of here down the bottom, so you're going to want to make sure that is out the way. We're going to put this pipe back into position, and what we're then going to do is we're going to flush the water through the unit for 5 minutes. So we want the water to now flush through everything to make sure that any calcium buildup in there, all that solution that was created, is now flushed out. So 5 minutes of the flush. Keep it running like that. Maybe set your timer, or maybe just look at the clock, come back. After 5 minutes, we turn the tap off. Then what we're going to do is, naturally, this is going to be draining out the water, so you can leave it for a moment. But what we're going to do next is we're going to come to this and we're going to take it out. So we're going to push over to the left again. We're going to take the locking pin off. We're going to lift out the cartridge, naturally that's going to be full of fluid. We're going to undo the lid and we're going to rinse it out. Now then, the way that I rinse it out is we just get some tap water, we pour it in there, we turn it over and empty it, and then I go through again, and what I do is I get in there, get my mouth in there. That's now been blown right the way through, and I'm going to leave this to air dry on the bench. The same with the cap. I just rinse the cap off and I just leave it to air dry. Okay, that's how I do it. Now then, what's going to happen is you're going to get the filter and you're going to turn it over, and there's probably going to be some water that comes out. Whenever you're handling the filter, make sure there's no water on the back of the filter. Make sure it's all dry. You don't need to hold this for like 10 minutes for dry. There's nothing really coming out of it now. But just make sure that when you took this out, both black washers came out of here, because you're going to need the black washers on this one to go in. So we put the filter in place. We put the locking pin down. Now with the locking pin, you cannot get your fingers to the back. So make sure your fingers are at the top. You turn this to the left and you make sure it's all flat. You can actually check by looking in there and pulling the filter and seeing that it's okay. One of the next things to do to make sure that it's locked in is turn the tap on and just keep an eye out here to make sure no water's leaking. Because if the water is leaking out of here, the filter isn't locked down properly. It will rattle a little bit, but it just won't lift out. So everything's all sealed there. Now I know that this has done its clean. I can put this back on. Don't press the reset button because you're not adding a new filter. Put that in place, shut it down, turn the power back on, it's ready to go. That's how simple the clean is. Now I've taken a long time to explain this. I guarantee you once you get into this, it literally takes a minute, set up and pack down, done, as in your own time. So look forward to you working your way through the eClean and experiencing the amazing benefits of owning an Enagic system. Thank you for your time. Bye-bye.